Welcome to another Walter Football video. I'm Charlie Campbell, Senior Draft Analyst. Before we get rolling, I suggest you speed it up to 1.25 or 1.5. All right, here we are. Regular season's here. Feels like it's been ages since we've had football season in the NFL. It's been a long off season. Feels that way to me. Anyways, so excited. Can't wait to get seeing how the season unfolds every Sunday. All the great games we have coming up here. So let's get into some preseason predictions here. We'll do AFC, NFC playoff teams, then Super Bowl and all that. So we'll start with the AFC. I have the Raiders, Colts, and Ravens as wild card teams. I think the Raiders' defense is going to be approaching average, and that's all they need. They have a good offense. I think the offense is going to be even better this year because I think Henry Ruggs and their young receivers will be better in year two. I think obviously Darren Waller is a superstar. I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a big season. The offensive line, a lot's been made out of that, but I think a lot of those veterans on the inside that they got rid of were not playing as well as their contracts indicate, and they got cheaper and are going to stay pretty consistent there on the interior of the offensive line, and I think Alex Leatherwood is going to be improvement for them for their tackle positions because Trent Brown was just so unreliable about being on the field over the past few seasons. So I think the Raiders get into the playoffs this year because I think Gus Bradley gets that defense to be closer to average. I think the players are going to play for him. I know that because I know Gus Bradley. I know the enthusiasm and positivity that he puts into the players. They play hard for him, and he's going to, I think, make that defense much better out of that. And I think some of the other signings as well, like Yannick Ngakoue is going to help the pass rush. I think the interior, the defensive line is going to be better, so the pass rush will be improved. I think the young defensive backs will make strides, having gained experience. I think they'll play better as well. So I like the Raiders to be a wild card this year. I like the Colts as a wild card. I think they can weather these injuries early in the year, but if Carson Wentz can stay healthy, I think that the Colts have a really good shot to be a wild card in the AFC. They have a tough defense, good talent on offense, good depth. They've drafted so well. Their roster has quality backups, so I definitely think the Colts will be in the playoffs if Wentz stays healthy. I have the Ravens as the other wild card in the AFC. I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a huge year playing for a contract. I think he's going to be in MVP form and in that discussion again. I think the defense will hang tough. It'll be interesting to see how they do rushing the passer after free agency losses like Judon and Ngakoue, but I think that's going to be strong enough, and I think the Ravens get into playoffs. So let's get into division winners. AFC, I have the Browns winning the North. I think the defense is going to be good. I think obviously they'll be able to run the ball with their two-headed monster in the backfield. I think Baker Mayfield and the receivers do well enough to support that run game, and the Browns go into the playoffs and can make some noise again. In the South, I like the Titans to win the division. I think their roster is strong, ready to roll this year. In terms of showing better ability to get after the quarterback, I think they're also going to be more effective passing the ball with Julio Jones, making things tougher on teams with how they deploy their safeties with Derrick Henry and Jones and A.J. Brown. So I think the Titans win the South. I like the Bills in the East. I think the Bills just year after year are getting better and better. Tough, disciplined team. I think they're going to run the ball better this year with more experience now for Zach Moss and Singletary. Those guys got to stay healthy, but Josh Allen is playing MVP caliber football, I believe. I think he's going to be in that discussion this year, and I think the defense is going to be better. I think they're going to rush the passer better this season. And then the West, I like the Chiefs. Obviously, Mahomes is dominating. I think he's going to have another huge season. They're going to score a ton of points, and I think the defense will be solid. So that's who I like to make the playoffs in the AFC. In the AFC Championship game, I like the Bills over the Chiefs. I think the Bills get over the hump, get back to the Super Bowl. In the NFC, wild card wise, I like the Vikings. I think that they're going to the NFC has, as far as that final playoff spot, I could see the Vikings sneaking in. I think the defense will be better this year. They can run the ball so well with Dalvin Cook. I think the young offensive line will improve. Obviously, Justin Jefferson was phenomenal as a rookie. In a lot of these years under Mike Zimmer with the Vikings, they're kind of down one year and up the next, like a yo-yo back and forth. So I think they'll be back up this year. I think they're going to be better defensively, and that's going to make a big difference for them to get in as a wild card team. I like the Saints as a wild card team. Even without Drew Brees, I think Jameis Winston is going to be a solid quarterback for them. I think they're still going to score a lot of points. Their defense is tough. I think the Saints are a wild card team. Wouldn't surprise me if they end up playing better than people expect. I like San Francisco as another wild card. I think we'll see how the quarterback situation plays out with Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. But the rest of the roster is strong. Kyle Shanahan is a great coach, phenomenal with his scheme work in terms of how he carves up defenses and runs the ball. So I definitely think the 49ers bounce back this year and are in that playoff discussion and end up winning a wild card. Division winners in the North. Can't go against the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams potentially in their last season with the team, but the defense is tough. They can run the ball. I would be surprised if Green Bay didn't make the playoffs. I think they're definitely a top Super Bowl contender. In the South, I got the Bucs winning the division this year. I think that their team is just loaded. It's going to be hard it's just so hard to see anybody beating them with the team they have around Tom Brady. It's so difficult to see them losing, especially in the postseason. In the East, I like Washington. I think they definitely are going to be one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think Fitzmagic is going to have some good games. He'll have some other games that aren't so great, but their defense is so good. I think it'll bail them out. They have emerging weapons on offense, a lot of young talent there, so I think they're going to end up winning the East. In the West, I like Seattle. Hard to go against Russell Wilson. I think the defense is going to be better. I think if the receivers there's good talent there. I think that they're going to win through disciplined football and Russell Wilson putting up critical points at times and just carrying them to wins the way he has for the last decade. So I like Seattle in the West. Now, as far as Super Bowl goes, I like Tampa Bay over Seattle. For the NFC, I think that Wilson has some heroic games, pushes Seattle, but I don't think it's enough to get to the Super Bowl. I think that the Bucs are going to do it again. I like them to get back to the Super Bowl this year. So in the Super Bowl, I have the Bucs and the Bills. I like the Bucs to win that game. Can't go against Tom Brady. I think they have a bit of a stronger roster overall. The only thing that concerns me with the Bucs is maybe some of the age they have on the defensive line, but they have good depth. So I looked and just thought about it, and I just can't see a team knocking them off. They just seem too loaded. So I like Tampa Bay to repeat as Super Bowl champions. But definitely, I suggest you check out Walt's picks. He's phenomenal at it. Last year, he picked the Bucs to win the Super Bowl, had the Bucs and Chiefs in the Super Bowl, so he nailed it. His prop bets are great. His weekly picks were phenomenal. I think he won like $10K last year. So definitely, I suggest you guys check out all his picks and weekly picks. They're awesome articles, and if you listen to them, you might make some serious money. So that's my preseason predictions. I'll throw in college football, which it's hard to say seeing anybody beating Alabama once again. I think it's Alabama over Ohio State in the national championship game. And this, to me, I love college football. I love the variety you see in offenses and schemes, and the ingenuity around some of the way these teams deploy offenses and defenses, and a lot of that creeps up into the NFL, but it starts at the college level. So I love that. I love the passion, the fan bases, the tradition. But one thing, I think the lack of parity, Alabama winning every year, playing the same teams, that's just a bit boring. So I'm disappointed in that, having to pick Alabama once again. I wish I was picking some other teams, even some other big programs that just haven't been in the championship in a long time, like, say, Florida and USC. But I think it'll be Alabama over Ohio State. I think Georgia will be a factor into the playoff. I think Penn State is a dark horse team that's going to be really good. They have a lot of talent, a lot of loaded both sides of the ball. I think if they get good quarterback play, they could be a serious contender in the Big Ten to challenge Ohio State. But at the end of the day, I think Ohio State's still better. So that's the college prediction. Not exciting. Sorry about that. I wish I could pick someone else, but it just doesn't look like there's a team capable of beating Alabama. And the same with the NFL. I mean, the Bucs just look so loaded, I can't go against them right now. So not the most ballsy or aggressive predictions, but that's who I see being the best this year. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's enjoy this season together. And you can email me at Draft Campbell, answer draft questions, do some mailbags, that kind of thing. Weekly mock getting updated every week. Position ranking is getting updated every week. Previews for you guys to check out so you can key on the draft prospects in the relevant games each week. Big board updated every week. I recap college games, just talking about how the draft prospects played, not caring about the wins and losses, focusing only on the relevant draft prospects and how they performed. So it's kind of like breaking down that tape for that player in an article form. So we got that going up on the site every weekend as I'm covering college games from noon to 2 a.m., 2 at a time or more, going like a madman. So tons of awesome coverage coming up this season. Please check it out. Please stay with us. I'll be back with more videos soon. You can like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate you watching. Take care, fellas. Love you. Be with you back soon.